Hi, I'm Kai,
How's it going? I'm Farshat.
and this is The Vantage. Today we're going to be talking about the Augustana Students Association's annual general meeting, but first, the news. There's a Christmas tree decorating contest December 1st through 15th. There will be prizes for the best student group and for the best teacher group. We'll put a link to the sign-up sheet in the description. From Zion to New York City, Religion, Violence, and the Practice and Theory of Peace Building. Tuesday, November 28th at 7 p.m. in the Peter and Jean Lauheed Center. Augustana is looking for host families for international students over the Christmas break. They need a place to go, so please, if you're interested, contact Corrine Williams at corrine.williams@ualberta.ca. We'll put a link to that in the description as well. And the Augustana Long Range Development Plan open house is Wednesday the 29th from 3 to 5 p.m. in the Forum. And don't forget, withdrawal deadline is Monday the 4th. If you need to get out of that class, do it before then.
And if getting out of that class is not an option for you, well, you're in luck because ASA Finals is back with a workshop on November 30th, 2017 at 6:30 p.m. at L2102. Go to aug.ualberta.ca to sign up. On December 9th, if I'm correct, yes, December 9th at 8 p.m., the Augustana Choir Concert will be held, as well as on December 10th at 3 p.m. Tickets range from $15 for students, $20 for adults, and $5 for Rush. And also, there's a movie night for the Outdoors Club. It will be hosted in Nils Asfeld's home. Yes, he now has a house. And it will be at 7 p.m. Join the Outdoors Club. Check their Facebook page. It'll be fun.
So, Wellness Week is coming up. It's next week. There's a lot of information for that, so we're not going to talk about it all here, but we are going to post a link to the page of all the information that the ASA has put out. December 11th to 21st, the bookstore is having their annual customer appreciation sale. So you want to pick up that Viking swag, go do it then. The canoeing and kayaking at the wave pool with the Outdoors Club will be happening on December 12th. Registration starts today. It's $50 and there's only 20 spots unless you've got your own boat, in which case we may be able to accommodate more. Talk to Nils Asfeldt for more details. And the Mindfulness Club is having their weekly meditation session on Wednesday from 3:15 to 3:45 in the Learning Commons. This happens every week, so yeah. That's all for the news today. Thank you so much. The opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily align with the views of the medium.
So, for today's topic, we'll be talking about the AGM meeting from last night, or on November 23rd to be exact.
Yeah.
It's an annual meeting, which is strange because it happens twice a year. So,
Yep.
shouldn't it be a biannual meeting?
The biannual
annual meeting.
BAAGM through the ASA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that happened. The fall half of that annual meeting.
Yeah.
fall.
You go.
Okay, I'll go.
Tell me what you thought.
Well, they
about
talked about a lot of points, and so we're gonna have to try and tear through these pretty quickly. But I think there were a lot of good ones. A lot of good topics that need to be discussed on campus. The big one that Hanan was talking about a lot is Mental Health Awareness and Wellness Week, because Wellness Week's coming up this week, right? But Hanan is talking about how she wanted mental health to be addressed in more than just the 1 week. And so she's starting things like Wellness Wednesdays, and you've probably seen her around the forum with a wellness wagon, dragging that around, giving people free tea and stuff. I think it's a really good initiative. I think mental health is a very big issue on campus because, I mean, I personally am going insane because of all the work. And
Same.
So I think that's true of pretty well everybody. So I think that's good. She's also talking about trying to get more resources that North Campus has to main campus, and we're already seeing some of that with like the nurse navigator coming in for mental health and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's a really good initiative if we can push for it and just try and get that going.
Yeah, it's absolutely great. I'm not gonna lie. But just as a background, the annual general meeting of the ASA is basically when all of our counselors get together and basically talk about the main issues on campus and what the agenda of the ASA is. So we should have mentioned that earlier. Apologies for that. But moving on, I was semi impressed with the general meeting. I was very much impressed with the activities laid out by Hanan regarding mental health, especially with regards to this 311 schedule. I think she actually has a very specific agenda regarding 311.
And we aren't going to try. We're going to try and stay off the 311 topic today, but I do think it's really.
It is important. Like
that she specifically mentioned how 311 is
screwing us with our mental health. It's true. Like I like a lot of students are saying like it has because of the compactness and just everything being crammed together a little bit. It's putting a lot of stress on individuals.
And even in the 11 week, which was supposed to be easier because it was 4 courses. Everything's more condensed and tests are closer together, so everyone's really stressed out, even in the less stressful time.
And the other aspect I really liked regarding the AGM was Taylor Johnson's plan for After You, which is honestly, I really like that because After You, for a while, it did not exist.
Okay,
and then it came back. After You, honestly, like here's the thing. When a lot of fourth-year students here, when convocation comes and they graduate and then people ask them like, hey, what are your plans now? And they say, I don't know. That should not be an answer. That should not be an answer. Point. That's that it's wrong that students graduate university and yet they don't know what they want to do with their degree. There needs to be greater emphasis and priority of the ASA and the SU. This is not just on the ASA, but it's on the SU to basically prioritize this. Because the career enhancement resources in Augustana are pretty unacceptable. It's pretty bad.
The ASA is they were also talking about bringing in more financial management workshops, which I think is a really great thing that's kind of very applicable to that because it's what you do after you graduate. It's really easy to manage your money here. Buy the meal plan and you don't have to worry. You've got food for a year. But yeah, managing money outside in real life is something that I don't think it's taught enough in high school, and I don't think it gets taught enough in university if you're not taking a business management degree.
I agree. Like honestly, like this money management thing is really, I think it's a great idea. It's something that we don't learn at all in high school, and honestly, like the fact that they're providing that education for Augustana students is I give them kudos for that.
Another big one that they were talking about is the long-term development plan. They're having an open house for that. Let's just find the date. The 29th from 3 to 5. We talked about that earlier. But Ben and the ASA as a whole are bringing up some pretty big things, like talking about taking down first year within the next 5 to 10 years.
Well, it's not really them that are doing it.
Well, no, but they're sitting on the long-range development plan committee, so they're involved in it. And I just think it's a big.
It's good to have a student voice, but we also have to remember that we have to remember that the ASA and ultimately does not have the 100% of the say in this.
It's true.
Mostly the admin that makes the decision regarding
it's true.
So.
But it is important for us to make a point of getting our voice heard as to what we want this campus to look like in the future and how we want this to go. I just think because they were just bringing this topic up that. Like tearing down first year, that's a big thing. To
be honest, I don't mind it.
I don't mind the idea either. It's a very expensive building to maintain now. And it is very old.
Yeah.
And they're talking about with the land bank doing the new construction out there for first and second year kind of or third year housing out there, and they've got like the living learning community house out there. So I think that's a good thing to be talking about, at least so that we're not caught blindsided and that the students can have a say in the development. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and then there's the changing the culture of drinking on campus.
Yeah, that's a big one. Because everyone knows there's been movements to push for alcohol on campus being a more acceptable thing. Alex So has been a big part of that and was talking that up at the meeting. Talking about things like casino nights going to have drinking at it responsibly, and we had the beer gardens earlier in the year, which was awesome. Still that talk of a pub potentially on campus.
I honestly don't see that as happening.
You don't?
I don't see it happening anytime, like not even within the next 10 years.
Really?
I really don't see
I
it.
think it could be so awesome.
Like, I'm not a pessimist. I just personally don't think, like, admin would be ready to make that investment yet until there's, like, a very concrete plan.
My thought with it is that we're talking about taking first year down, and we're talking about building a pub. First year's in a prime spot. I think if they were to take it down
And make a
build
pub in
a
it.
whole
That's
new
not
kind of a
interesting.
center,
See, now if you mix those ideas, I like it.
and I think making it into like a center where there's more than just the pub. There's like shopping and kind of stuff, or a learning commons in a place that would be accessible 24 hours. I think that would be awesome. And yeah, I think that first year is a prime spot because it's right in the middle of campus. So yeah, let's move on.
So they're talking about the formal.
Yeah, they're talking about winter formal, which we're not going to get into too much, but Alex was saying specifically that they were talking about having a more formal kind of sit-down dinner before the dance and everything, which they kind of had last year, but I think they're talking like more so where it's less than just like a little bar that you go up to and fill your plate, but like an actual dinner. It's going to cost more. It's going to be like 10 to 15, 20 bucks more if you're going to do that. They're just putting the idea out there, and they want to hear from you. So please, yeah, talk to Alex, talk to the ASA.
To me, like, here's my opinion on this: is
What's
that
your opinion?
the dinner is gonna be like a little bit not the it factor, but it's rather the theme. They haven't revealed the theme yet.
Yeah.
So if the theme is something that all Augustana students are gonna like, I think they're willing to pay for that dinner.
Yeah.
But if it's not, it's probably not going to be as well sold. So
That's fair.
now I want to get into a little bit of the criticisms I had regarding the AGM.
Okay.
I was not impressed with a lot of their strategy and how they're addressing some serious topics on campus. One being regarding sexual assault on campus,
Okay.
mental health, and Wellness Week, as well as Aqua. Here's the thing. I've been here 4 years, and one of the things I've noticed is that the ASA has had, when it comes to these issues, they address it through a very cookie cutter method. It's
Yeah.
almost it's very superficial.
Okay.
This is just my opinion. The reason I say this is because it's great to raise awareness, but awareness is not gonna change things when you're in a position to change policy, right?
It's true.
When you're in a position of power, awareness is not really what you're supposed to be focused on. It's great that you emphasize on it. It's important, and you need to work on that. But when you're in a position of power, you need to take action.
And change
The
policy.
ASA as a body is the advocate of students, and they have not only a stake in Augustana but Camrose community as a whole.
Yeah.
These are student leaders, for God's sakes.
Mm-hmm.
They need to act as leaders sometimes and actually.
And I think they are doing some of that with Hans' work with like Wellness Wednesdays and that kind of stuff. There is some of that going on, but I agree there could be a lot done
Here's
past just awareness. I've never
one thing was regarding Pride Week. None of the executives that I don't know, maybe Taylor Johnson, or I'm not really 100% sure, but I don't know if there are executives who were previously in Aqua working in the ASA right now. And they're trying to work on having a Pride Week here.
Yeah.
So you need to get other groups involved.
Yeah, I agree. And
that's-
I think that's a big thing, especially with the ASA being over the clubs, to really try and involve everyone who's in the clubs in any of the things that are going on and to make those decisions and just actually get out working, which they're talking about. They're making all the counselors host events at the school to get involved more. I think it's a good initiative. Maybe they could do more, but I think it's good that they're trying to do some of these things.
It is good. I like the fact that they're actually putting emphasis on it, and the awareness aspect. I'm not completely bashing it, but I'm just saying
Awareness is important.
Awareness
It's
is important.
been shown that it does help.
But action does more. And unfortunately, man, like Wellness Week, Pride Week, Sexual Assault Awareness Week, all of these things, they're fine if you're trying to get a message out. I think the message is out.
I think people just need to become a part of our lives.
I think Augustana students know that these are issues that affect students on a daily basis.
Yeah.
However, when I sometimes feel like these they're approaching it in a little bit of a I hate to say it, a little bit of an ignorant position, a little bit, just a little bit, because when you have two dudes as the head of the sexual assault committee, I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know.
When the majority of victims are women, and you have two guys running that committee, I'm just saying, man, that's not really.
It's something to be addressed. I think both of them have their minds in the right place about the issue, and I think that's the important thing. So, anyway, I had one more thing I wanted to talk about. So clubs are a big part of our campus, and there are a lot of them. I just went through the list, and there's something like 19, 20 clubs on campus.
Oh my goodness.
Yet, we are unable to spend the budget allocated for clubs. And because of that, club budget's gone down this year. They dropped it by $2,000. So,
That's not acceptable.
well, I mean, it's totally acceptable because we had $7,000 left over last year. But what it means is that we need to get out and use that money. They've got so much money allocated for us. And we've got so many clubs and so many great things that could be done with them. Like, we need to use this money. So I think it's just a big push on the side of the students. Get out, be involved with the things on campus. Make a point of making these events happen. It's so much fun when things run well and when we use the money to make these awesome events go on. Like, most of the money last year went to the Outdoors Club, and they had some pretty awesome events that happened through it. So I think it's just a big thing. Applying for funding for this term, the deadline's passed, but get involved with the clubs. Let's make some awesome events happen next term. Let's use that money that they've allocated for us.
I have a question. With regards to the surplus they had last year,
Yeah.
what do they do with that money?
They put it into the investment plan. So if
Okay.
they're going to, like, say, try and start a pub on campus, the ASA would be investing in that pub, and so they're going to use that money to try and better things at Augustana.
Okay.
So I think it's not like it's a waste of money, but they don't get given as much if they don't use as much.
And there's the SU that's responsible for giving them that money.
Because, like, they have a $200,000 budget, which is seems pretty big, but it is just a drop in the bucket compared to what main campus spends.
Main campus,
Like,
well, what is I think it's like, how many, like a few million?
I don't know. I just know
Way
that every
fine.
faculty uses, every single faculty at main campus uses way more than we do as a faculty. And I think it's important that if we're given that money, we should try and use it. We should try and make awesome things happen.
Right.
So anyway, we're getting pretty long on time, so
Yeah.
this,
It's been a great talk.
yeah, it's
been
a
great.
It's a good topic.
It is a good topic. I mean,
I'm glad a lot of these things are being
people,
discussed.
you need to go to AGMs.
Go to
Get your
AGM,
voices, represent yourselves. You guys are students, have a voice.
So,
and yeah,
if you could remember to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, share us on Facebook if you want, or just trying to get awareness out there. So we're just getting started. Any support you can give us is greatly appreciated. I'm Kai, once again.
I'm Farshad.
And this has been The Vantage. Thank you.